leaving that place that easy.
Because I noticed several hundred other boxes I may need to go through. Meanwhile, though, let me share with you a mint brand new copy of Black and Blues Legendary, going back to Miss Ann.
Right on.
Man, this was tough to get on Mercury Records back in the day.
Just as fast as I can, gotta get back to your side. She was so sweet to this man. She loved me in the kind of way I'd never been loved before. Since I left her, it's been my life to never see love like anymore. Took me away, like a fool I decided to stay. I must have been high that day. It's been over today. I had to go out and see the world to satisfy my mind. But I found out that nothing I saw threw me like the girl I left behind. Got me everything together, going back to the same. Just as fast as I can, gotta get back to the same. Got me a definite plan, going back to the same. Just as fast as I can, gotta get back to the same. To see that girl, I searched around the world, can't find nobody else. Tell her, well, I'm going back again. Going back to me, say, fast as I can. Backfield emotion, yeah. I'm gonna have to penalize you. Yeah. Backfield emotion, baby. You know that's against the rules. Outside loaded, yeah. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, baby. Outside loaded, yeah. Holding on to someone else. You know you're cheating, baby. Faking the vibe. You know you're broken, baby. Back to the out, and I caught you with the backfield emotion, yeah. I'm gonna have to penalize you, yeah. Backfield emotion, baby. You know that's against the rules. Right now, touching on me. Settle down, I was too behind the scene. Right now, you know I love you so. Fall down, baby, I got to let you go. My life up to it. Backfield emotion, yeah. I'm gonna have to penalize you, yeah. Backfield emotion, baby. You know that's against the rules. Now you feel just how I
the state of falling behind? Struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? Then let State Farm agent Billy Rowland in Lincoln help you simplify and get to a better state. Because with Billy handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% and actually help you get ahead. Call State Farm agent Billy Rowland in Lincoln today and get to a better state with State Farm.
I'm Ron Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with my co-host Luke Combs, who told me that he's actually met the other Luke.
It's like, hey, Luke wants to see Luke on the Luke bus. You know, there's a lot of Lukes going around. So we went.
NASCAR's America's Tailgate Party, Friday mornings at 10 a.m. from the Motor Racing Network and right here at Big O Country, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia.
NCN News, I'm Bruce Farrell. A man wanted in a shooting of 5 people at his Maryland workplace now suspected in a later shooting in Delaware. Wilmington police said that officers are searching for Radi Labib Prince. The Mandalay Bay Hotel security guard who first reported the shootings in Las Vegas October 1st during a country music festival finally telling his story. Here's AP correspondent Margie Zoraleta.
Jesus Campos tells the Ellen DeGeneres show he was investigating a blocked stairwell door when he thought he heard drilling sounds. He says he called for an engineer and another stairwell door slammed, which is when he got shot in the leg through a room door.
I felt a burning sensation. I went to go lift my pant leg up and I saw the blood. That's when I called it in on my radio that shots have been fired.
Campos was a no-show for several media interviews last week. He nodded when DeGeneres said it was the only time he'd publicly talk about the incidents. I'm Margie Zaraletta.
A college dealing with the tragic death of a student, authorities pointing the finger at a drunk driver. It happened early Sunday morning in Harnett County. 37-year-old Kevin Morosco was killed when a driver struck his motorcycle from behind on Highway 401. Morosco was a U.S. military vet and a student at Methodist University in Fayetteville. Troopers say the driver was drunk, speeding, and left the crash scene. Curtis Harris, charged now with 4 felonies. Dr. Shannon Matthews at Methodist University tells ABC 11 the students are taking the loss hard.
Students they were so close, and they're in classes all day together. So they eat lunch together, they have laps together twice a week, so they know each other very well. So this has really, really been devastating.
There's word today of some changes with health insurance that could hit you in the pocketbook. 500,000 North Carolina customers who buy individual health insurance from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina will pay an average rate increase of 14.1% starting in January. That from the company today. You're listening to NCN News.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/aware to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes tax. Service will include a monthly data allowance depending on the type and speed of service you receive. If you exceed your monthly data plan allowance, you will be automatically charged $10 for each 50 gigabytes of data usage in excess of your data plan, even if less than 50 gigabytes is used. For details about data allowances, go to att.com/internet-usage. Wi-Fi enabled device required. Other restrictions apply.
Don't miss the 20% off sales event going on now at Classic Ford Lincoln in Shelby. It's time to save big, big money on in-stock units. They've got to go to make room for more inventory. Prices have been slashed. Don't let this special event slip you by, and you can even save more with your X plan. Come into Classic Ford Lincoln in Shelby for all the details. The 20% off sales event going on now at Classic Ford Lincoln, 1775 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at ClassicFordShelby.com.
It's Your Feet Plus will make you feel like a brand new person. Your feet deserve it, and so do you. It's Your Feet Plus specializes in the health care of senior citizens' feet. They also do brow waxing, tint and ear candling. Just call 704-460-8669 for your appointment. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and located at 301 East Main Street, Cherryville. Call and talk with Sloan Fortenberry today at It's Your Feet Plus, 704-460-8669.
Temperatures dropping quickly this evening on our way to a chilly night tonight. Maybe not quite as cold as it was early this morning, but still chilly nonetheless. Look for overnight lows averaging in the mid-40s, but some of the typically cooler spots may dip into the upper 30s for an hour or two. For tomorrow, mainly sunny, highs in the mid-70s, a little bit warmer tomorrow than it was today, and will be warmer still as we finish out the work week with a high in the upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Nate Johnson in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Currently at the Big O Country Studios, it's 4:04.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Basketball Court Sweat Wiper-Upper.
Mr. Basketball Court Sweat Wiper-Upper.
You'll do anything for courtside seats, even if it means mopping another man's sweat off the floor.
Smelly man sweat.
Superstars may fall, but superstars don't wipe up sweat after they fall. You do that.
Oh!
While they soak up the glory, you soak up pretty much everything else.
Super absorbent.
Their shoes aren't squeaking till your towels are reeking. So crack open a nice cold Bud Light, oh Prince of Perspiration, because we know a champion when we smell one.
Mr. Basketball Court Sweat Wiper-Upper.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Distributed by Standard Distributors in Gastonia. It's the grand reopening of Renato Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience. Come in for all the details during the grand reopening. Renato Cadillac Buick GMC at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Welcome out to Advancing Sports. It's Tim Johnson and Ken Link here with you on a Wednesday. WCSL 1590 AM. You can tune in to us every Wednesday from 4 to 5. Also, you can catch us on the What's Up Shopper on the KTC Broadcasting Network as well as YouTube. Kenny, good afternoon to you, buddy.
Afternoon here on a Wednesday. A lot of sports going on. We're at a time of the year, Tim, where there's a lot of sports happening, some playoffs going on, some sports in mid-season, and another new sport getting ready to gear up soon, and that's basketball.
Absolutely.
But what we want to talk about now is what's going on in the playoffs with Major League Baseball.
Wow, and did we not have a great game last night with the Astros and the Yankees at Yankee Stadium?
Tremendous game. Well, I tell you, that series, let's talk about that series. The Astros playing at home, jumped out front in that series, winning the first two games. First game was tight. They won 2-1. Next game was tied again. Again, the Astros with a close win, 2-1. And it looks like they're in the driver's seat going back to Yankee Stadium. But, Tim, those Yankees play a little bit different at home than they do on the road.
They do.
And they got the bats going.
Yes, they did. And I tell you, man, did they ever. And in the Game 3, Yankees won 8-1 over the Astros.
2 3-run homers in that game.
Yeah,
Judge hit one out, and Frazier. I mean, they got the home run power that they can bust open a game real quick. And then we got the last night's game. And
man, was that not exciting or what?
It was.
Yeah, me and my son was watching it last night. He came over to the house. We were sitting there watching the game, and it was 4-0, I think, in the seventh inning.
Yeah, going into the bottom of the seventh.
And then
Yankees 4-0 Astros.
Put 2 on the board. And I told Alec right then, I said, look out. I said, they're liable to put 4 or 5 more back on the board, and sure enough, they did.
In the 8th inning, they came up, and they put 4 on the board, tied it up, took the lead, and then just shut them down with their relief pitching. And that was a tough That's a key game. I mean, you know, from the Astros going up 3-1, the Yankees tying it up 2-2, and now Game 5 is this afternoon at 5 o'clock at Yankee Stadium, because it's a 2-3-2 series, 3 games at Yankee Stadium. Now the Astros feel like they got their back to the wall a little bit.
I think they do.
And they don't want to go. They don't want to go down 3-2. And so this is a key game for them tonight. And you know them Yankees fans are going to be crazy
I'm
tonight.
telling you, man.
You know that.
Can you imagine that? I mean, can you imagine being in New York at Yankee Stadium and the Yankees come away with another win with a 3-2, going back to Houston? It's over. I'm going to tell you right now, the Yankees, they're in the driver's seat for what they did.
If they win tonight, they still got Keuchel going tonight, and then they got Verlander. But Verlander can't pitch 2 games.
Is Verlander pitching tonight?
No.
Okay, he's
pitching. Keuchel's pitching tonight.
Okay.
But they lose that. You know, you only got 1 Verlander. So
yes.
If the Houston lose it, they still in trouble.
What impressed me, everybody they put out there on the pitcher mound for the Astros, Yankees they took them out.
Oh, they
didn't last.
They destroyed the Astros bullpen.
Absolutely.
Last night they destroyed the Astros bullpen.
So the first game was 2-1, and if you look at it, Ken, it could have went either way, even though the Astros won. In game 2-2, so the Yankees they could have already won the series, or possibly 3-2.
Yeah, they've been more than competitive if you look at it. And as I said, the Yankees are a different team in Yankee Stadium. They really play well. They're confident there with their bats. They're used to that stadium, and they're tough to beat when they're at home.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So. I made a prediction the first of the season that the Indians were going to win the World Series. I got to eat crow, Ken. They didn't make it past the red-hot Yankees.
No, and that was.
I did not see that.
That was an upset.
That was
in that series.
Yes.
And now this is the Astros favored in this one. This could be another upset.
Absolutely. So Yankees and the Astros play today at Yankee Stadium at 5 p.m.
5 o'clock.
That's right, and it's on Fox Sports South 1, I believe it is. From what I saw. So. For all you listeners out there, if you want to watch the Yankees today, like I say, it'll be on 5 o'clock Fox Sports.
Yep.
So tune in to them. Hopefully the Yankees can prevail. I think they will tonight. I'm going to predict the score maybe 4-2, 3-1, something like that. Yankees going back to Houston. You know, Verlander, he's pitched well. You know, he's pitched really well. But, you know, the Yankees' magic, Ken, they're known to beat big-time pitchers in the postseason. I mean, look at the magic that the Yankees, they always bring to the table in October in the postseason. So I can see the Yankees, you know, maybe getting the Verlander, getting him out of the game, and then beating the bullpen.
Yeah, I like Houston.
I can see that.
I like Houston. I like a lot of the players.
I do too.
But if I was a betting man now and you made me bet, I would say at this point going forward, the Yankees in 7 to win this series.
Let me tell you one thing I noticed about the Yankees that I hadn't saw in years since Derek Jeter and the great Yankee teams that he played on. I'd say probably in the late 90s, early 2000s. They're having fun. These are kids with a few veterans like Todd Frazier.
They are
Gardner. They are having fun, and you can see it.
Sabathia,
oh yeah,
and they had ahead of schedule.
Oh yeah,
they had these young kids. They were saying, hey, in another year or two they'll be ready. Guess what? They got ready this year with Sanchez and Judge,
the shortstop. Man,
DeGarius come through with a big year. They're playing well. Them kids, and they're believing. Oh, when you win a game like last night, you don't think their motivation, their confidence is sky high?
Oh, man. I'm telling you. And Todd Frazier's the leader of that team. You can see it, him and Brett Gardner.
Yeah, they're veterans. They're veterans. And even though a guy like Frazier doesn't hit for an average, he got that. He's strong, and he'll hit that 3-run homer for you.
He was 2 for 3, or the last I saw.
When you got somebody that can hit them home runs, hey, you can put up a little bit of bad batting average.
And they got 104, 103, 102 miles per hour pitcher, and Chapman that comes in a game, and he's done. It's lights out.
I feel sorry watching the hitters trying to hit him.
Can you imagine? I asked Alec last night. I said, "What would that be like standing at the plate?" He said, "I don't want to know." He said, 102, 103. He said, "Oh my God, man!"
That second hitter he struck out last night. I felt sorry because he's throwing 103, and that guy's up there, trying to get ahead and hit that ball. And he throws him a slider, and he misses it 1.5 feet. I thought, well, he didn't have a chance.
The slider.
That's
man.
unfair. You try to hit the 103 fastball, he throws his sliders like
88 miles per hour slider.
Forget it.
That's unbelievable.
You got to miss that, Tim.
So I've always been a big Yankees fan. I just, like you said, Ken, I thought they were maybe 1 or 2 years away. I told you that earlier. I said I think they're 1 year away. But now they're putting it together with those young kids, Judge and the rest of the group. You know, Judge, of course, I think he owns New York now. He's taking Jeter's place, you know, in the young kids coming up.
And they've got good pitching in this series.
Oh, yeah.
I know Tanaka, he's been up and down. Well, he's been up during this series.
CC Sabathia.
Sabathia has been outstanding. And Severino's pitched well. And Gray pitched well last night.
He did.
So they're getting good pitching.
He hasn't gave up a run, what Alec was telling me, in the postseason.
Yeah, he only gave up a hit or two last night.
Just one hit.
He pitched well. Yeah.
One hit. So, absolutely. So, the Yankees are sky high. They're playing well. And you know that stadium is going to be rocking tonight.
It'll be rocking.
You know, especially at 5 p.m. all the way up through the game time. So, especially if the Yankees, if they could come out and put some runs on the board,
fans.
Oh my gracious!
Fans to carry them through.
Ken, you'll be hearing it. You'll be hearing the song.
Oh yeah,
Frank Sinatra.
Now,
alrighty.
Not so much suspense over there in the National League, Tim.
Yeah,
the Dodgers have just pretty much dominated the Cubs. Who the Cubs can't hit. They're hitting like 161 in the postseason, and so far in the 3 games, the Dodgers won the first game 5-2. The next game they won 4-1, and last night they won 6-1. The Cubs can't score. Now in Game 2, it was a 1-1 game, and Juster Turner had a walk-off 3-run homer in the bottom of the ninth to win that one. What a big, exciting win that was for the Dodgers.
Yeah, you know, we had talked earlier in the weekend. You said that the Dodgers are doing what they did in earlier the year. They were the hottest team in baseball. Now, toward the end of the season, when it counts, where it counts, you know, they lost, 11 or 12 in a row there for a while?
Oh, yeah.
Toward the end of the season?
Had a bad stretch. Absolutely. And they're doing this, Tim, without their fine shortstop, Corey Seager, who hurt his back in the previous series on a slide, and he has not been on the roster for this series because of the hurt back. They haven't missed him. Now, I don't know. I think he may be – I don't know how bad he's hurt. If and when they make it to the World Series, he may be able to come back and play, but he has not played in this series, and they've still won all.
So you don't know whether he'll be able to come back or not in the next series?
They said he could be brought back this series if they felt like he could play, but I'm not sure they need him with a 3-0 lead going into the game tonight.
Yeah, if 3-0 lead like that, you got to beat them 4 times, or you got to beat them 4 times really.
Yeah,
I don't see that happening again. I really don't.
And that game, the 4th game, is tonight at 9 o'clock. And so both series games are being played tonight.
So the Dodgers and the Cubs come on at 9 o'clock. Is that correct?
9
or 9 or 10?
game.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So that's going to be a great ball game. Even though the Cubs are down 3-0, I mean, they're the Cubs. You know what I'm saying? They won the World Series last year. And they got a young team too, a really good baseball team.
And unfortunately, some of those guys that hit so well last year haven't hit so
struggling
good this
a little
year.
bit this
struggling.
year. Yeah, that happens.
I mean, in this series, they've scored a total of 4 runs over 3 games. Tim, you're not going to win if you can't put more runs on the board than that.
Well, the Cubs had to make up some ground just to get to the playoffs.
They did. They didn't secure that thing until late in the year. They was fighting it out with the Brewers a good part of the year before they got enough space to win that thing.
You know, I've always said, you know, the Yankees when they're in the postseason in October, baseball is on top of the world. So if they can make it to the World Series, oh my gracious alive! You know, Yankees and the Dodgers.
Yankees, Dodgers.
Yes, 1978, 77.
You talk about TV.
Reggie Jackson, 4 home runs.
The TV guys are going nuts, man. That's what they want.
Oh
Yankees, Dodgers series.
Money.
Oh, are you kidding me?
You better believe it. Absolutely. So I'm all for that.
Yeah,
that'd be a great series.
That'd be a great
Who you
series.
think would win that, Ken?
I don't know.
Dodgers got some really good pitching.
They got some good pitching.
They do.
Got some good pitching.
Can their pitching shut down?
And they got some good young players too.
They do. Can they shut down some of the Yankees' bats?
Have
they played this year? Did they play this year in interleague?
I don't know. I'm sure they did, but I can't remember. If they did, they only played a couple games probably. But that's a good question. Now, the Yankees strike out a lot.
They do,
but they still hit home runs sometimes.
Home runs, yeah.
You know, so you can't. You don't know what you're going to get with them, but they can. I mean, going along, and all of a sudden, just like last night, they can explode on you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so we're big Yankee fans. Ken and myself is. Even though I picked the Cleveland Indians, I know what you're thinking out there. Well, Tim, where's your Indians at? They are at home. So, but anyway, I really thought the Indians were going to pull through this year and win the World Series. But anyway, Ken, you got some American Legion news on some rule changes.
I ran across some information on the American Legion baseball. National Committee had proposed some rule changes for the upcoming 2018 season. One of the changes is length of games. This past World Series, there were some games that they made decisions to be played as 7-inning games rather than 9-inning games. And the reason for that was some of the weather delays and ESPN TV schedule and that kind of thing. But I guess this factored in that decision as well as some of the pitch count rules that were instituted last year. And so the rule change is that all games played, all state tournaments, regional tournaments, and the World Series tournament will all be 7 games. Now, the state departments, if you will, have the option to still play 9-inning games during the regular season if they choose to.
Right.
But once you get to state tournaments, it's all going to be 7 games.
Got you.
From there on forward. And so
so should they just go ahead and start playing 7 innings?
Well, we'll see what they do here in North Carolina. A lot of states, they already play mostly 7-inning games in regular season. Now, Area 4 and, not on Area 4, but the whole state of North Carolina always played 9-inning games regular season, unless there's a doubleheader, and then you play 7.
We need to get Bobby Dale on the show. We need to give Bobby Dale a call.
What his opinion is. I don't know what they'll do.
We'll try to get him on the next couple of weeks. That'd be interesting to hear what he had to say and some of the, I guess, strategy, too, behind that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the pitch count rules were instituted last year, and because of that, pitchers can't go as far. And so they said, well, one way to help with some of that is have them pitch less innings, I guess.
Right.
So that probably factored in. Speaking of the pitch count rules, last year the maximum pitches in American Legion play, senior league American Legion play, you could throw in a game was 120. Tim, they're cutting that down to 105, which will be exactly matching the number they use for high school. No more than 105 in one game is all you can throw. Made a minor change. I think last year it was like 76 to 120. I think this year it's like 80 to 105, and that limit you have to set out 4 games. But you can't go over 105. Last year you couldn't go over 120.
Gotcha. Sound like they're using some of the rules during high school season.
One of the things they said, they're trying to make it a little bit more like high school.
Gotcha.
Now, I don't know from a traditional standpoint whether I like that or not, but I understand what they're trying to do.
You would think Legion separates from high school.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because you got college players.
Yeah.
And your college kids, they play 9 innings.
I like the 9 innings, but I'm a traditional guy, so
right.
I'm not going to fuss about it too much. The other thing they said that they would allow this year for each state department can decide the re-entry rules for pitchers and catchers, similar to what you have in high school, where a person can go out and come back in. As a pitch runner or that kind of thing, re-entry.
Is that for, like you said, pitcher and catcher only?
Pitcher and catchers only.
Yeah, okay.
During the regular season.
Well, they do that in high school.
Yeah. So that's again doing something a little similar to high school. Now, when they get to state, regional, and World Series play,
it's not like that.
They will not allow the re-entry.
Why? I don't make no sense. If you can do it during the regular season, why can't you?
I can't explain it. Unless they want to ease into it, maybe they'll do that next year. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the thinking was on that, Tim, why they will allow you to do it in regular season.
Trying to see how it goes.
If you choose to. Now, you don't have to do it in regular season. Because, again, it's up to the state department.
Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
And the other rule that's changed that really is interesting and will impact some teams, they had made a rule several years ago that if you weren't on the World Series if you weren't on the American Legion roster the year before and you went off and played college ball, then you couldn't come back and play the following year, even if you were age eligible. If you're still, not over 19, if you wasn't on the roster,
there's a cutoff date. There's a cutoff date.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about it. Let's say you are eligible from an age standpoint.
Sure.
Even if you was eligible, but if you did not play on an American Legion roster, and then you went off to college and played following summer, you couldn't come back and play no matter what. They're doing away with that.
That makes sense.
They're doing away with that. So if you're age eligible, you can play American Legion baseball whether you played the previous summer or not.
Okay.
So I like that rule.
Sounds good to me.
So those are changes that I read about, and we'll talk more about it when we get closer to baseball season.
I'm going to tell you something. If you want to know American Legion, my man right beside of me, Mr. Kenny Link, that's why we call him Mr. Baseball. He knows the American Legion rules, baseball rules. He is without a doubt the best in the business. That's why we have him here at KTC Broadcasting, here at the Best in Sports. It's always a pleasure to be with you, Kenny, here on a Wednesday, buddy.
All right.
All righty, boys and girls. We're going to take a little trip here. I want to thank all our listeners tuning in. Randy Emmon, I really appreciate that comment you just sent me about Ken Link. You said Ken sounds even better this week than what he did last week, but you never made any comment about me, Randy. I appreciate that. That's Randy Emmon for you right there. Also, this other guy sent me a text saying that there's no way that the Yankees going to beat the big guys from Houston. We'll see about that, Kenny.
We're here from the start of your workday.
On my way to work.
Till quitting time.
Big O Country, WCSL, 1590 AM, Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at KTCBroadcasting.com. It's the Hunter Special Sale. This Saturday, September 30th at MS Power Sports in Gastonia. I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to join the boss to Big O Country as we broadcast live this Saturday at MS Power Sports in Gastonia. We'll be there from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. with free Subway sandwiches from Belmont, chips and soft drinks. And register to win some great prizes, including 2 tickets to the Drive Procure 300 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, 2 tickets to a North Carolina Tar Heel football game, Renaissance Festival tickets, Cleveland County Fair tickets, free rounds of golf, T-shirts, and more. And check out the great deals. Get a free gun rack with the purchase of a new ATV. All you have to do is mention this ad and the Hunter Special. But the offer ends September 30th. See all the new models, see the tons of new gear, and get special pricing too. So plan now to be there during the Hunter Special Sale this Saturday, September 30th at MS Power Sports, 4804 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at mscycles.com.
Cole Custer's wounded Chevrolet goes to the bottom of the racetrack.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series Playoffs.
Justin Allgaier trying to make things happen here inside the top 5.
Race 4.
Here's Elliott Sapper.
And the final 8 contenders hope to hit the jackpot in Kansas.
Junior Motorsports teammates within a car length of each other off of turn 2.
The Kansas Lottery 300.
The intensity meter is pegged.
Saturday at 2:30 on the Motor Racing Network.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series Kansas City Lottery 300 this Saturday at 2:30 on Big O Country, 1590 AM WCSL, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
Now you can earn 1,000 points for every night you stay at the Hampton Inn. It's part of the Hampton Inn's Grand Nights promotion. Your points will add up to unforgettable experiences. Find out more by visiting your nearest Hampton Inn. You'll always come back with a tale to share. Start turning points into stories worth sharing. Visit the Hampton Inn on Remount Road in Gastonia and start earning your points today.
In today's housing marketplace, the advantage goes to the seller. Gaston County is becoming a go-to location for new home buyers, but a seller's advantage is only as good as the realtor involved. That's where Moss Realty comes in. They're dependable, honest, and hardworking for you, the seller. Give them a call at 704-865-5555 or log on to mossrealty.com. The number again, 704-865-5555. That's Moss Realty.
Why is it smarter to buy from Carter? Come visit our newly renovated facility and you'll see why. It's our huge selection, our Smarter with Carter service, our rock bottom prices, and impeccable customer satisfaction. Carter Chevrolet has been family owned and operated for over 50 years. We are here today and we'll be here tomorrow. Feel smarter when you buy from Carter. Chevy makes the truck, Carter makes the difference.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You've messed up your daughter's haircut. Do you A, get spiritual?
Mom, where's the mirror?
Beauty is within. Oh.
B, find the positives?
Less time blow drying, more time texting?
Or C, show empathy?
Mom, you really don't have to.
Twinsies.
I kinda love it. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Cherryville American Legion Post 100 Baseball right here on Big O Country, WCSL 1590 AM, Cherryville, Gastonia, online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
All right, Ken Link and Tim Johnson back here on this Best in Sports on WCSL 1590. A little New York music there for the Yankee fans.
Absolutely, Ken. Yankees taking on the Houston Astros today around 5 p.m. So we're getting cranked up here at KTC Broadcasting. We're big Yankees fans. We want our Yankees to go out and get to the World Series and win them another World Championship.
There you go. And speaking of sports and the sports stations, tonight the KTC Broadcasting will begin the NBA season with the broadcast of the Charlotte Hornets.
Absolutely.
That'd be around 6:30, 7. I think game time 7 o'clock. Tune in and listen to this first Hornets game. A lot of excitement. I think there's a couple rookies, Bacon and Monk, that's going to get a good bit of playing time because of some injuries tonight. So it's very interesting to see how good these guys can go.
Absolutely. And they got the big man, too, in there, too, as well.
Yeah,
Dwight Howard will be there. So he's the big center, the big free agent pickup. The Charlotte Hornets guy. And if you want to hear all your professional basketball for the Charlotte Hornets, we have it here at KTC Broadcasting. Like I said, it starts tonight. We're thinking that the pregame show will probably be around 6:30, maybe something around 7 o'clock. And so tune in to KTC Broadcasting. Also, Kevin Hastings and the guys every Saturday mornings, and Terry Reinhardt, they are the king of professional basketball. You can tune in to Terry and to Kevin as well, and they'll have all the highlights and stuff, all your professional basketball.
Yeah,
they do a great job.
Tim and I touch on the NBA some, but those guys, they can get in depth with it. And I know
we'll have a little bit more longer, too, to
yeah,
go into
and
it.
we'll talk a little bit later on. Some very disappointing news for the Celtics fans.
Oh, yes.
And that would be somebody on Saturday
Terry
morning.
Reinhardt. I guarantee. Yeah, I know Terry's
He'd
hurting.
be singing the blues because there was a substantial injury to one of those players. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
And we don't ever want to see that for anybody.
No, absolutely.
But I'll tell you something, Ken. Tell everybody where we're going to be at Saturday. Turner Hauser Insurance, live remote. We're going to be there on behalf of the KTC Broadcast. We want all our listeners come out there and talk to us.
Downtown Lincoln.
Come see us. Downtown Lincoln. That's right.
Tim and I will be out there. And
from 11 to 3.
11 to 3. Come by and say hello, and let's talk a little bit of anything.
I wonder if we have hot dogs.
I don't know.
City lunch hot dogs?
I don't know. It's a possibility.
I hope so.
We'll see.
I like hot dogs. All righty, Kenny.
All right. Let's talk a little bit of football now. College football. We had a big upset last Friday night, Tim. The Clemson Tigers, unfortunately, took it on the nose from Syracuse, playing up there in the Carrier Dome. They lost 27-24. Clemson's starting quarterback, Bryant, who was playing already injured with a bum ankle, took a hard hit and went out with a concussion in the second quarter of that game, and they couldn't hang on and win, and they lost that game 27-24. It's really gonna make it tough for Clemson to make it back and play for that championship in football again. I mean, it's not impossible, but they've got to win out, and they've got to be impressive in winning out to get there, I think.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Syracuse beat Clemson. I guess it sounds like Clemson might have just overlooked them, but their quarterback got hurt. Their quarterback got hurt.
And
so
Clemson got a good defense, but again, you playing on the road, them fans got fired up out there, and things like that can happen.
That's your New York fans.
In college football. Yes, it is. New York again.
That's right. So Miami squeaked out a win over Georgia Tech, 25-24, to remain only undefeated team in the ACC with a 6-0 record. And so Mark Richt's got the Hurricanes playing pretty good football, Kenny.
He does. And your boys, NC State Wolfpack.
That's right. Terry Reinhardt's guy, too. Terry loves NC State. We're both.
Continue the win, Tim, with another impressive win over Pittsburgh this week. And they're moving up in the stands. They're in that top 20 now.
Yes. I mean, they're 6-1 on the season, playing some really good football. And the quarterback, I was talking to Corey at work this morning at FedEx, and he's a big NC State fan, and he said, Tim, that quarterback's been in the program for like 3 years, so he's playing. He knows that system. He's playing really good. I like their quarterback. NC State, I tell you, if they continue to win and they can get to the ACC championship and win that thing, the Wolfpack's in the big dance, Ken.
Oh, they could.
They're in the big dance.
And guess what? If they do that, they got an opportunity because they got some tough games. Tough games coming up. If they can win those games, they have a bye this week, and after that
they got to beat.
They go up against Notre Dame and then Clemson. Now, Tim, if they would knock off both those guys, they'd go way up.
They are legit.
They go way up in the rankings.
Where's Notre Dame ranked at? They're in the top 10, I know.
They're 14th.
Okay, 14th.
I think they're 14th.
Okay, how about Clemson? Clemson was number 2.
I think they're 13th. They're 13th.
Okay, so Clemson,
Notre Dame is 13th. Clemson dropped to 7.
9 or okay, 9. Okay,
we'll
7.
talk. Yeah, the rankings. Let's talk about the rankings.
Let's do that.
Let's
go ahead,
talk
go through
about
them,
the
Kenny.
rankings. Alabama's still first. Penn State second. Georgia moves up to third. TCU moves up to fourth, and Wisconsin fifth. Ohio State sixth. Clemson drops all the way to 7th. Now the other teams in the ACC, 8th is Miami. 13th is Notre Dame. Now Notre Dame's not in the ACC for football purposes, but they play a lot of ACC football teams.
Got you.
And eventually they may be in the ACC. They're ranked 13th. Virginia Tech's ranked 14th, and your NC State Wolfpack comes in at 16th this week.
Hey, I'm all for that, buddy. I tell you, it's been a long time since the NC State Wolfpack has been in the top 20, Ken. It's been a long time. I know Phillip Rivers had them. I think at one year he had them up maybe number 14 or 15, maybe a little higher than that. Rivers did. So, and one year it seemed like State was close to the top 10, and then all of a sudden they went on a losing.
Well, I tell you,
games there. So.
The fans, the NC State fans, seem to really like their coach Dorn. He's turned things around. As I said last week, the officials had entered in talks with him, trying to extend his contract because they really like the guy.
Hey, I tell you, I'm all for him. You know, when he first came, people were saying, he's not offense, not this. But I'm telling you something, he's defense, and he's got a defense. His front seven is as good as anybody in the country.
Oh, yeah,
they're really good.
They're really good.
They are. They put pressure on the quarterback.
And just think about the one game they lost, Tim.
I know.
They outplayed South Carolina that first game, more yardage and everything, and they made too many mistakes. If they'd won that game, where do you think they'd be ranked now? They'd be up there about probably top 10 for sure.
I'd say at least top 10.
Top 10 for sure.
I would say that.
Probably in the top maybe 7, 8, 9, somewhere along there.
Now Virginia Tech, the Hokies, also at 5-1. Duke lost to Florida State 17-10. And our Chaz Surratt sighting, UNC now 1-6 on the year, lost to Virginia 20-16. Chaz Surratt did not play due to sickness. Brandon Harris was 7 for 18 for only 53 yards passing and 3 interceptions. Ken, he's not the quarterback for Carolina.
No, and Chaz, it said he had a temperature of 103, so it's because of sickness. And with that performance,
probably dehydrated too.
Chaz will be back in there this week. Unfortunately, the Tar Heels are having a bad year, and they had some weaknesses and some holes to start with, and then they just being bombarded with all kinds of injuries that are season-ending for, I think they said, 12 or 13 players. That's unbelievable.
That is unbelievable. That is.
Unfortunately, they have not had a good season. They're only won one game. But on the other hand, UNC got some good news this week when the NCAA finally came down with their decision on the big investigation that's been going on with Carolina about the academic infractions and academic fraud. They basically came down and said, we have no sanctions, no penalties to levy against the Tar Heels. We don't have any evidence of that. And so that had been something been hanging over North Carolina's head for a while, and had it adversely affected the recruiting team. Because other coaches use that against them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you don't want to go there. They're going to be, they're going to be hit penalties and all that kind of stuff. So now that's over their head, and I understand Roy Williams is having a pretty good recruiting year so far. In fact, his class is ranked top class so far 2018, and he's got some other guys that's still interested in coming. So he's back on the recruiting trail, and they're getting some players in there.
Well, like you said, basketball's right around the corner. NBA started the other night, so the Hornets start tonight, and ought to be a good year for NBA, and of course collegiate basketball. We'll have all your collegiate as well as some NBA too. So, but yeah, absolutely, Ken. It's good news for the University of North Carolina and for all their fans out there too. I tell you what, let's do, Ken. Let's go to a break here, my man, and then after we go to the break, we'll be back with some NFL news right here on KTC Broadcasting. You're listening to Tim Johnson and Ken Link, and it is the best in sports every Wednesday, 1590.
The only station you need at work.
All day long, constantly.
Big O Country, WCSL, 1590 AM, Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Once Upon a Time is now. Saturdays and Sundays, September 30th through November 19th. Presented by Harris Teeter and Pepsi. 12 stages of nonstop entertainment.
Because it is just so much fun for everybody in the family. It doesn't matter what age you are.
A medieval amusement park, comedy, daredevil antics, and giant roasted turkey legs.
We love the Renaissance Festival.
Jousting nights, men in tights, shopping, music, dance, incredible value, and delicious foods.
We love to come and eat our way through the festival. Amazing things to eat, the turkey legs and the crepes and everything else. It's a highlight of our trip every year.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Discount tickets at Harris Teeter or renfestinfo.com.
Come to the Renaissance Festival.
Ready for a new ride? Then see Justin and Rick at the car store in Cherryville. Right now on the lot, a 2009 Toyota RAV4, 90,000 miles, priced at $10,900. Also a 2002 Toyota Tacoma SR5 with V6 engine and 140,000 miles, priced at $12,500. Drive in style with a 2007 Cadillac Escalade, all-wheel drive, 108,000 miles for $20,000. And a 2005 Honda Accord LX local car, 142,000 miles, $69,995. See Justin and Rick today at the car store, 1801 Lincoln and Highway 150 East in Cherryville. Get driving power and productivity with a Kubota Innovative RTV 900XT from Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. It takes real muscle to manage your livestock and property, and the right utility vehicle can make all the difference. The Kubota RTV 900XT is engineered for day in and day out durability with a reliable 21.6 horsepower diesel engine, an optional hydraulic lift bed, and four-wheel drive. See it today at Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive in Kings Mountain.
It's Customer Appreciation Month this month at the Homestead Grill and Tap House in Lincolnton. Every Monday this month, get ribs at half price. And Monday is Wing Night 2, where you can get wings at half price too. Tuesday, it's an all-you-can-eat salad bar for just $10.99. And Wednesday is Wild Wing Night, $14.99 for all the wings you can eat. Thursday is Peel and Eat Jumbo Shrimp, $8.99 for half a pound. And Friday is Prime Rib Night at the Homestead Grill and Tap House, located on 357 North Generals Boulevard in Lincolnton and on Highway 16 in Denver.
It's the grand reopening of Renato Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience. Come in for all the details during the grand reopening. Renato Cadillac Buick GMC at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Country Countdown USA with Lon Helton, Friday afternoons from 1 until 4, right here on Big O Country, WCSL 1590 AM, Cherryville, Gastonia, online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
All righty, Kenny, we have some Cherryville High School football show. And speaking of Cherryville High School football, how about Max Grill, Ken? We just got done talking about what we're going to eat tonight. We're going to Max Grill, eat some great food. Last week we had fish.
Yeah, it was good. First time I had fish there.
Flounder's what we had. Was that not right?
Flounder, and man, they cooked it up in a hurry, and we downed it in a hurry.
Yeah, we did. So it looks like I'm thinking fish. I don't know about you, Kenny.
Yeah,
I'm thinking fish.
I could take that again. I believe I can handle that.
Absolutely.
But they treat you great down there, and we love eating over there because you can always get not only good food, but, Tim, you will not go away hungry because they give you huge portions.
Man, I tell you, you could actually take it home and feed your family. That's what they give you there. That's Max Grill located in Cherryville. That's mine and Ken's one of the favorite places we love to eat. And, Ken, I tell you, it's funny because every time we think about eating, we just continue to go back to Max Grill. It's just great food, man, I'm telling you.
And there's a lot of people coming in there and getting that good food.
Yes, they are. It's always packed. So get there early. And they get your food out to you and fast, too, and it's always hot, and it's always the best you can eat. All right, Ken, Cherryville High School football, they are 0-4, 2-6 on the season. Lost to Union Academy, 30-7, Ken.
Yeah, that score looks like it was a uneven game, but actually it was a little closer than that. The first half of the defensive battle, with Union only leading 7-0 at half. And after Union went up 17-0. Cherryville scored to cut the lead 17-7 in the third quarter. Unfortunately, I think Cherryville got wore down a little bit, and Union scored two fourth quarter touchdowns to make the final margin 30-7. Coach Pruitt thought they played well. He just ran out of gas and made a few mistakes that hurt them. This week, I think they're getting their wide receiver back, Kane, who they've been missing several weeks, and I think that'll help their passing game a little bit. And they play Highland Tech. Now, that's a game they can and should win.
Sure.
And next week, I think they got another winnable game, and then they finish up the season with Bessemer City. So they're trying to get a couple more wins before they get into the playoffs. And with 1A, they'll be in the playoffs, but they need to get a couple more wins to get a little better seed, I think.
You know, this past Friday night, Ken, we was talking to Coach Clonger. He was on our show on the first Federal Lincoln County High School football show, and we were talking about, Scott, about going out and meeting the coaches and stuff like that and getting to know the coaches and stuff that's coaching your children, your players and stuff like that. You know, Tim Pruitt, everybody needs to go out and talk to Tim Pruitt. Tim Pruitt is one of the finest people you ever meet. First-class individual, great football coach. You can't ask for a better person to coach your young men.
And I'm telling Tim, he calls in every Saturday morning to the Saturday morning sports show. Win or lose, he answers all questions. Yep. He's right there, class all the way.
This guy's first class, Kenny, no doubt about it. So good luck to the Cherryville Ironmen coming up this Friday night, and they'll take on the Highland Tech Rams. So all right, Kenny, NFL news to protest during the national anthem. Colin Kaepernick has filed a grievance alleging NFL owners colluded to keep him out of the league after he started the anthem protest movement. In the meetings this week, the NFL decided not to punish players for not standing for the national anthem. 11 owners and 13 players met with Goodell, and then the 32 owners met. And, Ken, what's the latest that you got after the meeting?
Well, what I understand is the players and the owners that met in this 4-hour meeting, I think there was 13 players. One of the players was the union representative for the players union, and 11 owners. Jerry Jones was not one of the ones that met with them. Neither was Jerry Richardson. But I think Blank met with them. The owner of the Atlanta was one of them.
How about Kraft?
Kraft was one of them who met with them. I
figured he would be there.
Now, coming out of that, the players and some of the owners made the comments. It was a productive meeting, had good communication back and forth with the players about the issues they're concerned about, and they told the players that the NFL promised them they would work with them on the causes they care about. Don't know what that looks like yet, but they're probably going to have another meeting in a couple of weeks. But they didn't really sit down and talk about changing the policy at all, or the how they enforce the policy for standing during the national anthem. So basically they're saying, we would like for you to stand, but if you don't, we're not going to penalize you.
Right.
Which is sort of riding the fence in a way. But I understand what they're trying to do, Tim. Here's the thing. The NFL doesn't want to get in a position where they get sued by the players' union. But they also need to think about keeping their fans. I think what they're hoping is they'll have less people not stand for the national anthem, and then they'll work with them on their grievances. But I don't think that's going to happen. President Trump's already tweeted that he was disappointed in their decision to continue to disrespect the anthem. So I think you're still going to have a good many players that won't stand during the national anthem, and they won't penalize them.
That's just my perspective. That is sad that you had to respect the flag during the national anthem in your country, especially for the veterans and stuff like that. To me, if you're going to protest, like me and Ken said a couple weeks ago, do it after the game. Don't do it during the protest of the football game just because you're on TV and stuff like that and you're trying to make a point. I hate what's going on, too, in the world, too, and there's no doubt about it. I know Ken does, too, as well as everybody else here at KTC Broadcasting. But the thing about it is, you're disrespecting the veterans as well as your country and the flag, and I just don't see a need for that, Ken.
And it's interesting in the actions, and we're just reporting the facts here. We give a little bit of opinion, but the NFL also,
and we want to make something clear. We're not politicians or political people. We're just stating what we believe, what Ken Link believes and Tim Johnson believes. That's what we believe.
And the NFL issued a statement, an official statement yesterday that said the NFL community has a tremendous respect for our country, our flag, our nation, and our military.
Right.
Now, they made that statement, but they said, we will not penalize you if you don't want to stand.
We will not penalize you, yeah.
Okay, so they're riding the fence a little bit. Another
Absolutely.
thing I heard them say that Roger Goodell, there's one thing they're going to discuss, and I don't know whether it came up yet, but they're going to discuss soon, is whether to renew his contract for 5 more years.
I thought they did that.
I don't know.
I thought they did that.
Have they already done it? Maybe
yes,
it hadn't been officially approved. Have they?
Well, maybe he hadn't signed the paper. Maybe they hadn't let him sign. But yes,
I don't know.
I saw that where they extended his contract.
But maybe they have already.
Yeah, I mean the man's making $30 million a year.
I heard it was 40, but it
might be 40
but
now.
It's too much.
Might be 40.
It's too much.
It's too much. they can pay me $1 million. I'll do it.
Couple more things about that before we get off this topic. Just something that, some more information. There was a Jaguar Jags fan who hired somebody to fly an airplane over the stadium carrying a banner that said boycott the NFL when the game was going on.
That's pretty cool, ain't it? That's pretty cool.
And so that's going on. And this is the other thing, Tim. You know, we talked about the Baltimore Ravens when they played over there in London. And they knelt during the national anthem, U.S. national anthem.
And stood
up
for
God Save the Queen.
That's a slap in our country's face to me.
And that game was being seen by armed forces.
Yep.
Well, they got so much flack on that. The president of the Jaguars wrote a letter to I think it's a military representative of the team, basically saying, we apologize. It didn't enter our mind that what we did would be seen negatively by the armed forces. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? I mean, you got to be out of your mind.
And they regret they did it, and if they thought about it, they wouldn't have done it. I said, you kidding me? They nobody buying that.
Man, that's sad. That really is.
But, you know, that's what's going on. So bottom line, this issue's not going away, Tim, because most people in this country feel like their actions they're taking are being disrespectful. And those fans are still going to vote by in the ratings, and the ratings continue to slip. And you can say it's because this or that. If they continue to slip, this issue is going to become bigger and bigger.
Well, Ken, you know, it's sad that you know, the NFL has come to this, but, you know, hopefully they can work it out, and hopefully we can get past this and get on to some great football. In the AFC, Kenny, you got the Kansas City. They're still 5-1. The New York Giants. Who beat them? Was it? No, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Steel City, beat the Kansas City Chiefs. The New York Giants beat the Broncos. That's what I was thinking.
Finally won a game.
They finally did. Yes. You got the Patriots lead with a 4-2 record. You have in the West, the Patriots in the East, that is. And in the West, you have Kansas City lead with a 5-1. North, you got Pittsburgh leads with a 4-2. Browns are still winless. That's Kevin Hastings' team. You know he picked him to win.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, we're going to have to give Kevin a hard time. Anyway, Jacksonville, Houston, Tennessee tied 3-3 records. So Jacksonville playing pretty good football.
Yeah, and that South, that AFC South like it always is.
Yes.
Whoever comes out of there not going to have a good record.
No.
That's just the way it is.
In the NFC, Ken, the Eagles, 5-1, have the best record. Everyone else has lost at least 2 games, of course, and 49ers are 0-5 this season. And knowing my luck, they'll probably beat the Cowboys Sunday. They play at 4 o'clock. Hey, I'm telling you, man, I would not listen. It wouldn't be surprised me at all. But Philly leads.
It would me.
Well, Philly leads the East, 5-1 record. LA Rams lead the West with a 4-2 record. In the North, Green Bay and Minnesota lead with 4-2 records. Rodgers out with a broken collarbone. He's done. So, therefore, Green Bay is done. I'm going to tell you that. Unless, like Kevin said, Romo ain't coming out of that booth.
You don't think he's coming out?
No, he's eating. He's getting fat.
He's making good money and enjoying himself.
He don't have to work out.
And not having to get his bones broken
No,
out there.
Lord, no. Again, Carolina leads the South and leads with a 4-2 record. So, speaking of the Panthers, Ken, have you heard any more about Luke Kuechly?
Well, there's been a lot of discussion this week about does he have a concussion, does he don't have a concussion. Let's put it this way. He was officially put under concussion protocol. And once you do that, it's sort of secretive. You got to go through the steps and everything. But I understand he's going through the steps real quickly.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
And that's all you
wants on the field.
And that's all you got to get from the Panthers until they say he's completely clear.
Right.
That's all you're going to get. You're going to get any more information.
Now, our listeners out there need to understand, we got some good news coming up. November the 5th, me and Ken is going to go down to the Panthers game. We're going to be in the press box and get to do some watch the game, do some interviews, stuff like that. So we're excited about that. Also, we're going to go down December 17th, the Green Bay game. Was hoping to see Rodgers, but Rodgers is out now. And so he won't be back to probably next year, I would assume. We're going to be, and then next year we're going to do some. We're going to go down, probably do some interviewing too with the players and stuff like that, and bring the interviews to our show. That's one thing we want to add to our show next year as well. And so we'll be going to some games as well too. So we're excited about that. And so I know Calvin and Kevin have gave us the range to be able to do that. So we're excited, and we're so thankful that we're part of KTC Broadcasting. And so, but yeah, Kenny, we're excited. And Dallas Cowboys, they play this Sunday. They had a bye this past week, so they didn't get beat, or they ain't no bad news coming out of Dallas.
Maybe they'll get healed up a little bit and get back on the.
I hope so.
On the winning side. I mean, the Panthers need to get some things straightened out too. Their pass blocking for the Panthers. I mean, the run blocking for the Panthers was terrible. Stewart couldn't get out of his own backfield. Tim, when you carry the ball 8 times for minus 4 yards, that shows you there's no blocking, and they need to straighten that out.
Kenny, we're going to take a short little break here, and then we're going to come right back, and you have some NASCAR news coming up after this commercial right here on KTC Broadcasting. It's Tim and Ken on The Best in Sports.
This is Hernan for Mas Grill, and you are listening to my good friends Tim and Ken, Best in Sports.
That's pretty good, ain't it, Kenny?
I love that.
That's our man, Max Grill Arnon.
I tell you what, he can put some good food out there. We like him.
Kenny, what's the NASCAR news? Mark Truex Jr. is wrapping up the points. Just like Brad Keselowski's in second. You got Kyle Larson. Keselowski won the last race, did he not?
Yeah, he won at Talladega. It was one of those things, Tim, where when is the big wreck going to happen? Well, it finally happened. Took out 17 cars, and after that, there was more wrecks and more wrecks. I think it took out every driver in the playoffs except for 2, and that was Brad Keselowski that won it, and I think Denny Hamlin. But Dale Jr. was on the pole for that race and actually finished 7th. Tim, it was sort of miraculous. The wrecks kept happening all around him. He just kept missing it, just missing.
They tried every way they could to get Dale to win that race. I'm telling you, man, they want Dale to win a race so bad they can't.
Well,
stand
and I
it.
tell you, on the last start, the caution flag, he was 3rd, but all that finagling around and drafting, trying to win it, he dropped back to 7th, and that's where he finished. But at least he finished the race. But the next race coming up is at Kansas, and after that, there'll be 4 drivers eliminated. So right now, Jimmy Johnson's in the last spot to be there. And the people,
he needs to make a move this week.
Yeah, the people that are in jeopardy of not making it, depending on the outcome of this next race, Kyle Busch is 9th, Matt Kenseth 10th, Ricky Stenhouse 11th, and Jamie McMurray 12th. Four drivers will be eliminated. So those 4 are on the bottom right now, but we'll have to see what happens in the race in Kansas.
We need to get it looks like to me Jimmy's going to have to make a move this week. He needs to come in at least in the top 5, possibly try to win a race.
Because I mean he needs to inch up, because eventually it'll only be 4 left, and so he needs to inch up there a little bit.
I want to see Jimmy win 8 NASCAR championships.
That'd be cool if he
did. It would be. It'd be good for racing too. To me, Ken, correct me wrong, I think racing's kind of down.
Well, it's just like a lot of sports, Tim. They've lost a little bit of viewership because there's so much going on in the world today, and a lot of options and alternatives, and it's gone down a little bit.
I can remember, Ken, back in the 80s, racing was at its pinnacle. It was at the top. Late 70s, early 80s, all the way up to the early 90s. I can remember when Earnhardt was winning championships, and he was rubbing people's bumpers and stuff like that and knocking them off the road. If you was in front of him, here comes the black Intimidator, and he was right on your backside there, and he was pushing you, nudging you a little bit. And then you had Gordon. Gordon throughout them years was just dominant with Ray Abraham. And back then that was racing. I mean, it's like it's gone. It's like, it's like they got many rules, and they try to make everybody equal.
And you got different names in there, and that's going to happen over time. You got Kyle Busch in there now. You got
Right.
your Jimmy Johnson. You got the guys, the new guys coming up. It's different, but Tim, it's just like a lot of sports. As us old guys get older, the newer guys, the younger folks, don't even jump in there like the old guys were. They're not as passionate.
No, you're right.
And, it's just maybe because they're into other things as they grow up, and so they're not there.
You think about Earnhardt. Earnhardt, everything he did in life, he had to earn it. His father never helped him at all. Anything in racing. I mean, I remember a story. Sure. I remember a story I was told by him that there's a guy in Mooresville, or I think it was in Kannapolis where it was, had a tire center, had tires, and Earnhardt went to his dad, Ralph Earnhardt, and said, "Hey, can I get some tires?" He said, "No, you got to get them yourself." So he goes to this guy and gets tires from him. Well, he told this guy, and this guy used to give him tires all the time for free. And so Earnhardt said, "I'm going to pay you back someday." He said, "I promise you, I will pay you back." Well, so happened when Earnhardt won his first championship, and I think it was in a Wrangler car, he remembered that guy who gave him all the tire stuff all the time for free. So he built Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet down here on Highway 16.
Yeah.
So you know what he did? He went to that guy a year later after he built that corporation. And he told him, he said, "Hey, man," he said, I need to talk to you about something. And the guy said, "You need some tires, Dale?" He said, "No." He said, "I need somebody to run my business."
So that's who the guy. That's who
he
put
got
down
him
there.
and took him down there and gave him
Wow.
that and told him to run that business. Said, I want you to hire somebody to run your business."
How about that?
That's pretty good, ain't it?
Yeah,
that's Dale Earnhardt for you.
That's giving back.
Absolutely.
Tonight, guys, you need to check KTC Broadcasting, WCSL, and WLON, and WHOS, Shelby, all the stations. They're going to have the Hornets on at 7 o'clock. And speaking of NBA, Tim, the Warriors, it opened last night. The Golden State Warriors at home lost to the Rockets.
I saw that.
122 to 121, which is sort of disappointing. But the big news is Celtics, Gordon Hayward suffered a devastating injury, a dislocated ankle and a broken tibia all in one fall. And so he's going to be out for the season.
Kenny, I saw that. That's sad, too, about Gordon Hayward. And the Warriors, like you said, the Warriors lost to the Rockets. Hey, is the Rockets a team to take over to maybe get to the finals, with this year? Are they the team?
I don't know. It's too early to tell. Golden State's got a lot of weapons there, so it's way too early to say. And there's injuries and things that happen, so it's early. It's too early. I'm not going to make any predictions.
Absolutely. All righty, Ken. Great show. Power-packed in 1 hour. Some great information there. Some great sports talk there. All righty, folks. We're going to leave you with some Frank Sinatra in New York. How about them Yankees, Kenny Link, Mr. Baseball?
They're looking good, and I wouldn't bet against them right now.
All righty. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you here next Wednesday on The Best in Sports. It's Tim Johnson and Ken Link every Wednesday. We'll be
right here, 4 to 5.